Open 25 of 8. They say the fog can play tricks on your mind. I used to think that meant you'd see shadows or get turned around. I never expected it could trap you in time. I was driving alone on Route 217. It was past midnight, somewhere between 1 and 2 a.m., but I couldn't say for sure. I'd been on the road too long. Driving home after a family emergency. 8 hours into the trip, I was running on fumes, both my car and my body. That's when the fog rolled in. Thick, white, heavy. It was like driving through wet cotton. My headlights barely cut 5 feet ahead. I slowed to a crawl. Every turn looked the same. Every tree. Every mile marker. It was like someone was copy-pasting the road as I moved forward. And then, I saw a sign. Open 25/8. Glowing neon red and pink. It flickered slightly, and beneath it, the word station buzzed quietly. At first, I laughed. 25/8. Must be some quirky local branding. But there was something strange about the way the light cut through the fog. The air shimmered around it, like heat rising off asphalt, but it was freezing. Still, I needed gas. And caffeine. So I pulled in. The station looked old but well kept. Vintage. Almost like a set from a 1980s movie. The lights inside were too bright. The windows looked fogged from the inside. A single car was parked near the side, but it was covered in dust, like it hadn't moved in years. When I opened the door, a chime rang. But not the usual ding. It sounded off. Almost like a bell underwater. Muffled and slow. The man at the counter was standing perfectly still. He was tall, maybe 6'5", dressed in a pale green clerk uniform with no name tag. His skin was pale, too pale, and his eyes were wide open, staring directly at the door. Not at me. Just through me. I said, "Hey." Just grabbing some water. No response. I moved slowly past him, down the first aisle. The shelves were filled with things, but no brand names I recognized. There was a row of soda labeled Gulp, taste what comes after. A box of cereal called Time Loops. The expiration date? Infinity. I picked up a bottle of water. The label said water in bold, generic font, and underneath, now in every moment. I should have left right then. But I didn't. At the counter, the clerk finally moved. He didn't blink. Not once. Just scanned the water bottle, looked up at me, and whispered, "You're early." My throat tightened. I said, "Early for what?" He handed me the receipt. No price. No barcode. It just said, "See you yesterday." I left without saying another word. The fog had gotten even thicker. I got in my car, started the engine, and pulled back onto the road. But after about 10 minutes, I saw something glowing through the fog again. The same sign. Open 25/8. I hadn't turned around. I was sure of it. But there it was, same building, same buzzing neon. I passed it, thinking maybe it was just another station in a chain. But 5 minutes later, it came again. Same sign. Same lights. Same dusty car parked on the side. I checked my GPS. No signal. I turned around and drove the other direction. Fog. Fog. Trees. Empty road. And then, open 25/8. Again. I parked this time more slowly. I left the engine running. I approached the building. But something was different. Now, there were two clerks inside. Both identical. Standing on either side of the counter. Not moving. Staring. One smiled. The other didn't. I didn't go back in. I backed away slowly and drove off again. I tried every direction. Every back road. Even tried to drive into the trees. No matter what I did, the road curved back, sometimes subtly, sometimes impossibly, and I always returned to the same spot. Sometimes the station looked newer. Sometimes it looked old and falling apart. Sometimes the sky was orange. One time, I saw myself standing at the window, staring out. I stopped counting how long I was stuck there. There was no sunrise. There was no clock that made sense. Inside the station, the wall had over 50 clocks on display, none of them showing the same time. One said 3 hours 72 minutes. Another ticked backward. I smashed one. It started ticking again, in Morse code. It spelled, "Stay." I started writing notes to myself. Left one under the windshield wiper. If this is the first time, don't go inside. The next time I saw the car outside, that note was there. In my handwriting. I wasn't stuck in a place. I was stuck in a loop. Not of space, but of time. The last time I went inside, the clerk said something new. He whispered, "You're catching up to yourself." I asked, "How do I leave?" He pointed at the freezer aisle. It was filled with fog. Literally. Fog inside glass doors. One of the doors opened by itself. Inside was a mirror. I looked in. My reflection was older. Eyes sunken. Beard longer. He mouthed the words. Trade places. I ran out. Didn't look back. I'm still driving. Still searching for the exit. I passed that station countless times. And now, sometimes, I see other cars there. People like me. Trapped. Running in circles around a clock with no hands. If you ever find yourself driving through heavy fog, and you see a station glowing open 25/8, keep driving. Don't stop. Don't go in. And whatever you do, don't check the receipt. Last night, I woke up in my apartment. I thought I had finally escaped, until I saw the receipt still in my jacket pocket. It said, "Transaction complete. Welcome back." And on my alarm clock, 3 hours 72 minutes a.m.